Good morning. We have a beautiful spring morning here in Staré Warsaw, and we're going to paint a picture today of this lovely meadow. So as you can see, I've set up my easel, ready to go. I got my primary colors here: titanium white, cadmium red, cadmium yellow, and ultramarine. I have my turpentine and I have my linseed oil. Today I'm going to try to use the more linseed oil to make the picture a little bit juicier looking, oilier looking. Turpentine dries very quickly. It's also very good for cleaning up. I'm going to start with a base using the turpentine so it dries quickly and block everything out, and then we're going to move into detail. I do have some other colors down here if I can't find the color myself by mixing these colors, but theoretically I can and should. I'm going to try. Alright, let's go. So the first step here is just blocking out picture, composition, and also getting in my head how it's going to develop. So I have these trees on the right, and they're going to be in the foreground. We want to have something in the foreground here. They have a road giving us some kind of perspective, and we got this in the background. I'm just trying to find the basic colors to block it out. This is all in turpentine, very light. It's going to dry in 10 minutes. Alright, so we also need to first block in the darks, the shadows. We start with dark. Okay. It's going to be mostly down here. And back here. And over here. Beautiful place to walk your dog. Got a dog. Now look over here. This tree also has a shadow, its own shadow. Let's make it a little bit redder just so I remember about it. We can temper that back a little bit later. And over here. You also want to play with the color to find it sometimes. And over here we're going to make this shadow darker with the blue. And then we can have some distinction here. Alright, next step we want to block in the sky. It's important to have the colors down so you can start comparing them side by side and not just painting the one color independently, because there's no independent colors. I got this stick here because this wind today is very strong and my painting keeps flying off the easel here. Comes the wind. It's a beautiful wind, I mean, it's so lovely today. Absolutely. Let's get this in here. I want some, just to get the color down, We'll play with the detail later. Alright, we got the sky down. Now we're going for the meadow itself. Get this down. So much fun, yeah? Put the color on the canvas. Oh boy, boom, 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 boom. Look at that. What was his name? What was the name of that guy who painted on TV? Bob Ross. Ah. Boom, 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 boom. William Alexander, he's the other one. Boom, boom, boom. Fire it in. Boom. Okay. All right. So you have to be careful it doesn't get too thin. You have to find the right consistency. And I still haven't started using that oil. Actually, maybe I should be. Once I get this first part down, you have to be careful. You don't want to start faking the color. You constantly have to check it. You're painting what you're looking at. Not getting too carried away. I mean, of course you could get carried away. Who cares? But the picture just doesn't give the same satisfaction when you have fake colors, you know? It just doesn't look right. What's the point of painting outside after all? It's the whole point, is to try to find the color. If I'm sitting at home, I can never even begin to imagine these colors, you know. It's just kind of impossible, actually, in my opinion. Maybe if you do it 1,000 times, you're just doing it by memory. But otherwise, these colors, you have to find them in nature. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Okay, now we're looking for these trees. And you don't want to be afraid of the color. You can always change it later if it looks too much like it looks too red or something. But actually, like I said, the colors, it's all about the relationship between the colors. And there's also an aesthetic element, obviously. You want it to look nice. Always add a little bit of yellow if the color looks dead or a little bit not going anywhere. It'll always bring it to life a little bit. Here we go, let's just put this down anyway. Yeah, see, the yellow also makes it browner. I'm still working with 3 colors plus black and white. We'll see if we can go through the whole picture with it. Forces you to look for the color, you know. Also saves you money instead of buying all these odd colors that you're never going to use, or it'll take you years to use them. Alright, anyway, let's just put some branches here. Now I want this in the foreground, so I'm going to wait a little bit. But I do have to start thinking about it. A little bit of black in there. And this is all going to be coming over here, you see? Up into the sky like that. And this beautiful one's going to be coming down there. So there you go. That took about an hour and 10 minutes. But we got all the color laid out. You start looking at it. You start to see what's wrong with it. I'm going to let it sit for 10 minutes to kind of dry and to think about it and take a break, stretch my legs. And then we're going to start using some more of this linseed oil. As I said at the beginning, I'm going to try to make it juicier. And we'll see how that goes. Let's take a break, yeah? Okay, so we got some oil down here. And we're going to start from the background. Way back there behind the trees. Try to capture something. This is where the real painting begins. And it's where you either make the picture or you break it, but you know, that's life. The thing is not to overwork it too much. You kind of have to let it be. But you're constantly looking for the color, yeah? It's there. And on we paint. Make the background a little bit darker so the foreground comes a little bit to the foreground. Okay. A little bit too much oil. The paint becomes too thin. All right. Okay, now we're going to try starting these silver birches back there, which make or break the picture. I don't know. To find the right balance. It's very pretty, isn't it? I mean, not necessarily my picture, I mean my subject. Beautiful. Okay, now this is going to be coming up, remember? Front, as you can see. This is going to be coming down here. Now I'm not painting every tree, but I'm trying to keep the idea. Alright. And of course you got these branches like this as well. Well, the more you look, the more you see, which is also amazing. Amazing part of this hobby is actually learning how to look. Beautiful. Alright, you want to suggest not necessarily paint every leaf, as Bob Ross would say. Now we got that brown tree behind, which is going to be a little bit tricky, so I'm going to try this off camera. Alright, so now my palette's getting a little bit messy, and the colors are starting to muddy. So I'm just going to finish this. I'm going to bring this bit of magenta into the picture. I'm trying to capture this pine trunk. And it's like, really, what color is that, you know? What color is that? It's like every color. Jesus. Oh, it's so windy here, man. kind of like I'm looking for this color here. See? This looks orange, but it's not orange. It's gray orange. What the heck is gray orange? Oh my goodness. I have no idea. It's just very yellow, isn't it? Then you have to stand back and think, well, not really. Well, I'll keep playing with it. At some point I had to stop, but alright, so now we're just finishing, putting some finishing touches. Putting a little bit of... Now I'm cheating a little bit. I used Indian yellow, so-called Indian yellow, for the what do you call those? Pine cones. And I'm using a little bit of Naples yellow to lighten up the tree a little bit. I'm going to do something with this road, but we're getting close. The details kind of bring it to life, actually. Hopefully. Well, that's it. Maybe a little bit overworked. This happens sometimes. It took me about 3 hours. A lot of fun. Beautiful here. We'll take one more look at it back at home. But it's all right.